What's up, guys? Welcome back to Have a Beer with Eric. This is review number 30. Wow, I can't believe I've already hit 30. It, um, Time has passed by really quickly, honestly. Um, it's I'm really surprised how I've already hit 30 reviews, and a lot of people have told me that they like my reviews. So that's that, along with the fact that I enjoyed doing these reviews and just sometimes trying new ones, sometimes revisiting older ones. It's fun for me. So it's uh it's pretty exciting to already hit like the 30 mark. And so for today we have a little barrel aged beer. We're going back to, well, we didn't hit dark beers last time, but we're more into like the dark and heavy this time around, with Firestone's Parabola from 2018, this year's, and so it's vintage number 9. It's an barrel aged imperial stout, and so for the description, we have, of all the beers in our proprietor's vintage series, Parabola is the most notorious. It is a beer of immensity, so righteously thick that we can barely push it through the brewhouse before racking it to the barrels from leading spirit producers. The 2018 vintage presents prodigious aromas and flavors of chocolate, charred oak, vanilla, black cherry, and coffee. Parabola is one of a kind sipping experience. It is built to last and will reward carefully cellaring for years to come. Enjoy now or sell in a cool, dark place between 45 degrees and 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Allow it to warm up in the glass when serving. And yeah, I just skipped like the first part. That pretty much not all of them have the exact same description, but usually the first paragraph has something similar in every single bottle. So I just usually just skip that to get to the specifics of the beer. So here in the label we have it's 12.7% alcohol. Let's see, and we have original gravity is 31 Plato, final gravity is 10.5 Plato, 42 IBUs, 7,300 cases produced. It's a British ale yeast, and the SRM is 99, the color of the beer, so that's very dark. It's proprietor's vintage, and yeah, this is a combination of 30th episode and Labor Day weekend, pretty much. Yesterday was the last day of Labor Day weekend, and it was a pretty nice chill weekend. I went to a few breweries, did a Keep the Glass event over at the new Duckfoot. It's a great place, prime location, right next to the trolley stops, so it's perfect if you don't want to drive. And with that said, I'm gonna crack the bottle. And for the glass today, we have the new Bine and Vine glass. They just released this recently, and it's I forgot the name of the glass, but it's very similar to the Teku, and it basically works the same way as the Teku glass. It's an all-around glass that allows you to get a bunch of aromas, and since it's stemmed, you don't really warm up the beer with your hands if you don't want to, or otherwise you can just grab it from here. And yeah, it's an all-around glass, and it's pretty fancy, so I just decided to go ahead and buy it. And all right, let's get the beer in the glass. There we go. I believe this glass holds about 14.5 ounces or so. So this is pretty much perfect because it allows for some space for the head to give out some aromas, and for the head we have about a finger. And let's see the smell. So I actually get a lot of cherries in this, like dark cherries. So this is supposed to have like aromas and flavors of chocolate, charred oak, vanilla, black cherries, and coffee. I'd say I mostly get cherries out of this, and maybe like hints of vanilla, a little bit of oak. I don't really smell any chocolate or coffee though. I might find it once I sip it, and There we go. So usually with the bottling date, you can't really see it when you have the beer on there. So I was waiting to pour it so that I could find it. So this was bottled on March 9th, 2018. And I bought this about a month and a half ago. And I'm storing one, I'm cellaring one. And I also have one from last year that I'm also cellaring. Um, I'm planning on doing a vertical for next year, like a three bottle vertical. And I wanted to drink one kind of fresh. Sort of fresh. It's like almost 6 months now. But it'll do. All right, time to try the beer. Cheers, guys. Mmm, it's very smooth. Now I'm getting the chocolate. It's like chocolated and oak, hints of vanilla. The cherries are way more subdued than they are on the nose. The nose is pretty much just straight up black cherries. In the taste, the chocolate definitely takes the forefront. Um, the cherries are like very light, along with the vanilla. It just makes it kind of like a decadent, like a just like kind of like a bit of like chocolate covered cherries. And I'm sorry for saying like so much, but mm, it's very smooth. This is 12.7%. There's no way this tastes like 12.7. The charred oak comes in very lightly, so you don't really taste the barrel age too much. Um, so I believe this beer last year was brewed and bottled at a different location. Besides, I think they did a combination between Firestone and I think it was Boulevard, because they're both owned by Duvel from Europe, and that does not mean that they're not craft beer anymore. Um, the the craft beer guidelines from the Brewers Association just says that like some if somebody that's not defined as a craft brewery buys the brewery, then they're not craft brewery. But since Duvel, first of all, they're not an American brewery, and their American faction would is considered an American craft brewery. So Firestone is still very much a craft brewery, just with more capital. And thanks to that, more distribution. So we get a bunch of their beers, which is awesome. Um, I had this beer last year and I really liked it. I had it out of the bottle, and luckily I was able to find it on draft. I had it at the San Diego International Beer Fest. It was a secret tapping there, and I'll admit that I had definitely a few pours of that. It was like all 1 ounce pours, but I stuck around there since apparently most people didn't know that there was a Parabola secret tapping. So I stuck around there, just had a few pours, and I spent a good amount just chilling there, and it was awesome. But thanks to that, I got pretty drunk, and because like I said, you can barely taste the alcohol in this. This tastes probably like a barrel aged milk stout, so it tastes more like 7 8%. And it's 12 and a half, almost 13. But yeah, this is very smooth. A little sweet, some chocolate. And yeah, I think this is probably my favorite Firestone barrel aged beer. I think my second favorite is probably the Velvet Merkin. I've had it a couple times. And then I really like the Sticky Monkey. I believe I have one more left in the fridge, but unfortunately all the labels fell off, so now it has no labels. I'm thinking of doing a review on that soon, so luckily I still have my bottle from last year, so I'll just be able to compare it with that and give out all the info on the Sticky Monkey with that. And the one that I wasn't a big fan of was the Eldorado. I thought it was kind of iffy. It's just weird having a blonde barley wine. It tasted it was different. It's not bad. It's just different, and it took a little bit to get used to. Especially when I tried it, I was still exploring barley wines, so it was definitely a little experience. And it was like a 22-ounce bottle too, so that was pretty heavy. But yeah, this is a pretty delicious beer. You can find it very easily still. I know a lot of most bottle shops don't have it. I know that liquor stores still have them. I got mine from Bevmo, and they still have plenty. Like when I got mine, there were like 3 or 4 left, and then I actually went today just to check it out because I went to the bank right next door, and they have way more now. They have like at least another case in there. So if you want to try Parabola, I would recommend either Bevmo or just maybe liquor stores still have them. But yeah, bottle shops won't really have them anymore since they try to focus on more like local stuff. But I would definitely suggest if I would suggest you buy one and to drink fresh and then relatively fresh and then buy another one to age. That's what I'm doing, and I mean it's like $11 a bottle, so it's not too bad. And it's always great to try the parabolas after they age. I can't wait to open. Well, I won't be able to open my 2017 until next year, but it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be an awesome vertical, and I definitely can't do that by myself. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there next year. And but yeah, this I really recommend this beer. It's a great beer. I think for my rating, I would give this maybe like a 4.5. It's just a very rich flavor, very smooth. Has a very nice, thick body, um, a really nice mouthfeel. Um, just low carbonation, and I mean, I still have like a little bit of bubbles from the head over here. So it's not actual head retention because most of it is actually there's not much in the center, but the carbonation is awesome. It's great. It's not flat and it's not too carbonated, so it's perfect carbonation right there. So I would definitely recommend for you guys to try this beer, and yeah, and even other Firestone barrel aged stuff. I always love that they come in these boxes. I collect these boxes pretty much. I need more space though, and yeah, I think that's it for this review. I might go this weekend to pick up my fundamental observation bottles from Bottle Logic, and I also bought the Resplendent Angel, which is a bourbon barrel aged porter. So let's see what we bring. I'm thinking of doing FO as a review soon. I don't think I'll do it next week, but I'll do it soon. I've heard it tastes amazing from the bottle, so I'm excited to try that. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And that's it for this week. Just subscribe, follow me on Instagram, have a beer with Erik, and on tap is Kaya49. So yeah, I'll see you guys around. Cheers.